Good morning, everyone, and welcome to part 2 of 10, Reselling 101, Acquisition and or Sourcing, whichever word makes better sense for you. I am Karin, and I'm so glad you could join me this morning. So this section is going to focus on your what, the source of your income, inventory, stock, items, merch. So when you're getting started, some people do this as a part-time or a hobby, but getting started, you don't maybe have a lot of income at your disposal. So my best suggestion for you, and again, this series is based on little old me and how I do it, or my family does it, or a great way just to get started. So take that for what it's worth. The most easiest and cost-effective way for you to start making money is to look around your house. See what you have. And you can see some items behind me. I kind of did some shopping in the garage this morning. But use this free stuff to make money. And that money is either going to help you reach those goals that we talked about earlier, but it's also going to help build a foundation where you're making more money so you can work toward making that capital towards future purchases as you excel in your reselling business. Look at it kind of like, you can see in the corner the PS 2, 3, whatever's over there. Look at it, if you're a gamer, like leveling up, right? So you start with this basic character, your basic reseller, and then you build that person up until you're, a boss. Yeah, I just went there. Okay, so you've searched around your house to find all these things and consider, nobody will really know, but Christmas gifts, wedding gifts, birthday gifts, the shower curtain that you just don't see yourself using. It's an easy flip sometimes. So consider those things that you have that just you got and maybe you're not going to use, you can't return, whatever. But then there's also used items. While the new ones in listing, arguably, it's an easier, I don't want to say it's an easier or better sell, but with a new or new with tags or newly boxed item, there's less room for flaws. You don't have to sort of highlight something that's wrong with it necessarily. So if it's new in a box, boop, maybe you take a few less photos, move on. But that's not to say you can't also capitalize on your own used items, like clothing, shoes, sporting goods, video games, you name it, CDs, books, collectibles. Now, all of those things are going to be relative for whether or not they're going to sell well for you or not. But a good example here that I sort of planted that seed in my teenager is he's played sports all his life. So we had a surplus, might be an understatement, but we had a lot of baseball gear, rugby gear, soccer balls and baseball gloves. So he brought it to Play It Again Sports, a bunch of stuff. And where he had nothing but a big pile of stuff, he came away with, I want to say, $60, $70. And for a young person, maybe for any person, if your wallet was empty, that's a big deal. So you never know where your treasures can be found. So look around, it might surprise you. And look behind me and you can kind of see, even the old roller skates might do it for you. Everything will sell eventually. And that depends on time and price. So you might have to tweak it a little bit. And you might even have to end up, in some cases, just giving it away if your goal is more to purge and make room for other things. So don't discount that also. You'll also hear resellers talk, and we do a lot about making money when you buy it. So when you're out there and if you are purchasing items, you want to be smart about it. So while there's a great thrill to the hunt, and there's also a little bit of a rush when you get a good deal, that good deal is only as good as it's going to be when you go to flip it and resell it. So please consider that. I get that you need the rush to acquire, hunt, grab all the thingies, but be smart about grabbing all your thingies. You also have the option to, and we highly encourage you to research your items in advance. You can certainly do it in the moment while you're on the go, but take some time to find out about these things. Just because they're on the mantle behind me doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be at the top of my list to sell, nor does it mean they're going to be hot items. You know, I might have to sit on some of them a little bit longer than others, which brings the next suggestion that you'll hear, right? To niche or not. And all that means is, you know, you can certainly list all of these things because they're here and we're trying to gain some capital here. But when people are first getting started, it is a lot to take in all at one time. So I'm not suggesting that you just sell all the thingies and grabbing all the thingies. Educate yourself and adopt a strategy that you can replicate regularly. Now, think about that for a second. It's one thing to watch how other people do it, right? And I might tell you that I'm selling, you know, this brand of shoes or that brand of jeans, or my Miley Cyrus coffee cup is just the BOMB. But if you can't find those things in your area, what good is it? You're kind of spinning your wheels. Get out there and do it yourself. Educate yourself, be in the moment, get your hands dirty, and start building up your own knowledge and your own brand and fact base. That's going to help you out the most. When you're shopping, when you're purging, do you and gravitate towards what you already know. In my son's case, he, you know, had all this sporting goods stuff. He knows a lot about rugby, a lot about baseball. So he was actually able to wheel and deal maybe a little bit better than I would have been as the mom going into playing in sports. Like, I got all this stuff. You know, if you know, the other part of our business, the one that's been around doing it longer, sells a lot of jeans apparently. And his background is in retail sales at a jean selling retail establishment. So he had a background for that. Me, I'm a little all over the place. You know, I've got some knowledge in a lot of areas. So with the things that I have here, you know, be it stained glass, or I roller skated at one time in my life. But anyway, do you and do you well, and start that as your basis and then branch out from there, because you already have the tools that you need and the knowledge that you need to make that work. Dedicate some time to learning more about the things you already know about. The internet can be your friend, but it can also be your enemy at the same time. You know, at some point in the first episode, I said analysis paralysis. And certainly if you're going to just watch video after video or read article after article, you're just going to start getting all this information, and it's not going to come into play until you're applying it in your day-to-day, right? So get out there, get from behind this computer screen. Walking around is going to do you some good too, and just challenge yourself. You know, when you're in the moment, scan it or look it up to see if it's going to work for you. We talk about sources for sourcing. For us, we have Goodwill's, Salvation Army. You'll hear thrifters or resellers talk about the bins or outlet, where something you can buy by the pound. You know, different stores will have sale days or give discounts for senior citizen days, or you have garage sales, estate sales. You have so many options available for you to acquire more thingies, right? You can use apps like OfferUp. Garage Sale will list garage sales all over the place. Craigslist, Facebook groups, outlet stores or retail stores. You know, whenever there's a clearance sale or a going out of business sale, don't even get me started. You can certainly capitalize on one man's loss is another man's gain, right? And you can even, there's something called online arbitrage, not just retail arbitrage, where you're acquiring things online, and once again, you're right behind your computer. So I hope that all of these things were helpful in just sort of getting you thinking. If you get anything out of this series at all, it's that you should be thinking about how you're doing it, what you're doing, and how you can do it better. So thanks again for taking this next step with me toward reselling. It's going to take time, and again, you're going to make mistakes, but in practicing these ideas, you're going to start to develop a buyer's eye. And at some point, you know, you're not going to have to look up every pair of shoes or every pair of jeans or every coffee mug that you see. Each time you do something, you're going to get better at it and faster and keener. It's certainly not the only way, but hopefully I've given you some nuggets and some things to think about. So thanks again. If you have an occasion to leave something constructive down in the comments, I would really appreciate it. Consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel and setting reminders so you'll know when you can come hang out with us for the other 8 of my 10 and wherever we're going to go. So until then, I hope you guys had fun. I certainly love starting my days with you. And until then, happy Reseller 101ing to you. Thanks again.